Previously on Fallout New Vegas. So, can we kill it while they're doing that?
X-42, attack in the name of Mobius!
No. No, that's a bad idea. And now. Do I need to fight you? This is an exact copy of the think tank. So, it doesn't appear there's anything hostile here. Are you Dr. Mobius? Hello?
Hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
What the fuck? Are you the one that's been sending robo-scorpions after me all this time? You don't look like you're in real good shape. Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. Flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
Yeah, you aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
No, you're better this way, I guess. Why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were.
Oh,
if you
thanks.
were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do.
You're making me hungry.
Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh, well.
I was curious about some things. Might as well find out what in the world's going on.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Or maybe when your brain degraded to the point. Oh man, I could repair him. Well, I don't have repair high enough. What about your robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
I bet you do. Can I ask some other things?
I find things curious as well. Go on.
I don't have the repair for that. Yeah, you don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank? And why send friggin' robo-scorpions after me?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out!
You must have been tripping on Psycho for days then.
Such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
So you're really just a big junkie, huh? So you wanted to keep the think tank occupied?
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, comm science? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
So has it been my brain that's been trying to kill me and not you? Yeah, everything doesn't add up. You're playing, even your name Mobius. I mean, is that referring to a Mobius strip? Only one side, never ending?
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
Okay. So you reprogrammed their names as part of recursion loop to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember.
Oh, I guess it's fine then.
I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
So a recursion loop is designed to prevent the flow of information.
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it.
No, they wouldn't. They're
I
idiots.
have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
What if the 7s ate the 9s? Klein Mobius, O's a circle, 8's an infinity symbol. Yeah, they're all loops. I get it. And a Mobius is a one-sided, infinitely running strip.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place.
True.
Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking.
Oh,
That's
believe me,
my
I know.
professional opinion, anyway.
I've met the Cazadors and the Night
I am
Stalkers.
told I was once quiet professional.
Uh-huh. So, minor details, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
Well, if you lobotomized the think tank, then why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That
Or a
I
grape.
didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
So, at one time they were actually intelligent and not the morons they are now? Seems hard to believe. So, there were other visitors, though. Why am I different? I mean, I've seen signs of Elijah.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle.
A wrinkle in time?
That they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
So, I don't have enough perception, but I do have medicine and guns. Oh, okay. Huh? What are you talking about? 65. A cranial injury from the attack outside of Good Springs. When the guy shot me in the head.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats in just you instead of the other way around. Mentats.
Come on, focus.
In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial cells into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
So if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave ever? Is there anything else? Ooh. Klein said they had the idea to get the three technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So
Hey,
watch
T's
it,
okay.
potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
So you sent Robo Scorpions to kill me so that I would come here and get my brain back? Y'all are brain damaged. So, was there any other data transmitted in your broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
Why would I be offended by that? So, yeah, the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild those.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate.
But not surprising.
Oh well, at least I tried.
Okay, so what's the purpose of all the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit, why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine.
Are we in the Wizard of Oz?
I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
That's an interesting interpretation. How about some other things?
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
I guess. I wish I could repair you. I don't want to kill you.
Oh, I tried that already.
Why do I have to kill you?
Oh, intriguing. I've never been killed before. Although, after that time I got that phlegmy discharge in my biogel, I wished I had been. Well, if there's going to be killing, how should we begin? Engineering viruses, canceratic beams, atomics, electrocutioning? Or should I summon my minions? Yes, my minions.
So am I going to have to fight after all? I'll trash them like I did your giant piece of junk downstairs, I guess?
Oh, now you've done it. I feel a twinge of regret over that little mistake I left on. Minions, destroy this intruder! Or perhaps make it more dramatic. Minions, to me! Oh, yes, that's quite a bit better.
I didn't want to have to kill you. That's sad. Figured he'd give me the option to spare him. He's just a old man with biomed gel degradation of the brain. He's kind of harmless now that I've completely neutered all his defensive. Well, let's heal a bit. Come on. That's enough. Can I just kill these and then not do anything to him then? Oh. What? Oh. So you're shooting at me now. Maybe not.
You have... I am imagining all sorts of imaginary numbers right now.
Okay.
So, you think you're a...
Maybe. So we satisfied his curiosity about what it's like to be killed. Now we gotta retrieve our brain. Does he have anything on him? He's got a lot of things on him. Of course, he's got so many chems. And a level? It's a little too late for repair now, I guess. Well, I mean, it's still good to raise it. Let's just keep on with our energy weapon raising. And melee. Nice. Alrighty then. Need to make room for this stuff. So we're right on the button. Where is this my brain? Apparently so. Let's save. In case I mess something up horribly. Hello?
Well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
No, braving robo-scorpions, lobotomites, night stalkers, and all manner of robots to rescue you. Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Well, now that you mention it. So... Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes.
You are.
I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And
I think you are.
Got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave?
Yeah, you.
Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
You're the one who makes all the decisions. Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership.
Exactly.
All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from?
You?
Glands. They come from glands. Free of the
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
Medicine, 55. But you're the source of most of those glands, unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame.
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Admit it, you're just as glandular as I am.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to be back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
Yeah, but, what about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek? The smell of food? Love?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we're in an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
We get together. I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So, what do you say, Brain? Want to join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here.
I got an auto dock back in my place.
Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Well, we won't give them the option, will we? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Well, you're part of me, and I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
Well, if they won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them, I guess. Yep.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us.
Probably.
Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Hallelujah. What? So do we just carry it in our pocket then? I guess? Is there anything else in here to take? It's worth taking? Holy crap. Look at all these mentats. Well, I really don't have room to be just looting this place. I'll head on back for now. I may come back here later and get the rest of this stuff. Well, at the very least, perhaps we won't have to worry so much about robo-scorpions anymore.